Hello there. A real north-south divide develops across Europe over the next few days. And if we take a look at the pressure chart, you can see what I'm talking about. A significant area of low pressure will bring some wet and windy weather and some snow across Scandinavia. And as that pushes its way steadily south and east, will bring some unsettled weather into the Low Countries across northern France as well. By contrast, we've got some extreme heat for the time of year developing across Iberia. It's largely fine and quiet through the eastern half of the Mediterranean as well. A few scattered showers, not quite as warm here, but temperatures in Spain and Portugal way above where they should be for this time of year. We're looking at mid to high 20s over the next few days. Wetter weather pushing its way into northern France, across the Low Countries. Once again, we've got some wet and windy weather and some snow across parts of Scandinavia. So this is the story as we go through Saturday. That frontal system will continue to track its way steadily south and east. It'll bring rain into Spain as well. We've still got that warmth and that sunshine across Portugal and Spain. In fact, much of the Mediterranean fine and quiet at the moment. So here's the story over the next few days. London and Paris staying pretty unsettled. Temperatures going from the mid-20s in Lisbon down to a cooler, showery mid-teens by the middle of next week. Berlin will start off with some wetter weather and then a slow improvement into next week. Fine and dry in Athens. Hello then. Some unsettled weather to come across North America over the next few days. Let's take a look in more detail. We've got a frontal system bringing yet more rain across the west coast. We've got this area of low pressure which will develop and move across the Great Lakes. Some heavy snow through Michigan over towards Toronto. And then further south, we've got some extensive rain moving out of Mississippi over towards Georgia and into Florida. We're going to see heavy torrential thundery downpour, 300 millimetres plus likely. And that could lead to some localised flash flooding. So along that west coast, in a little more detail, the rain not quite as heavy, but nevertheless continuing with that unsettled spell of weather. We've got rain pushing into British Columbia, stretching down into Oregon, gradually into California, and that's all going to be moving its way slowly eastwards. Now, elsewhere, it looks likely that we'll continue to see that rain into the start of the weekend. So some snow for Calgary, it stays wet for Vancouver, and also into Los Angeles by the weekend. There's that snow pushing across the Great Lakes, but the story perhaps will be anywhere south of Tennessee, down into Georgia and into the Carolinas and Florida. Some really torrential rainfall expected over the next few days. And that obviously, as it moves through, will have an impact on the feel of the weather as well. So it's going to stay pretty unsettled as we move into the weekend here too. Hello there. Plenty to talk about with the weather story across South America at the moment. In fact, if we take a look at the pressure chart, this cold front is going to bring some very heavy rainfall, particularly across southern Brazil. It will introduce a brief respite to the extreme heat that we've been seeing across northern Argentina and Chile, but the heat is set to build as well over the next few days. So let's take a look in a little more detail. We've got some pretty extensive showers across the Amazon basin at the moment. We've got heat across parts of Venezuela, but you can see where those sharper showers are. But the showers merging together for longer spells of rain across southern Brazil. Rio de Janeiro could see 300 millimetres plus over the next few days. That could lead to some localised flooding. Dry and settled for much of northern Argentina and Chile. But take a look at the story. Rio stays unsettled for the next 5 days. Ascension will see those temperatures once again in northern Argentina climbing. Now, across Mexico, it's fine and quiet. The same too for Central America. We've got the risk of some really torrential downpours, though, across parts of Cuba and Jamaica over the next few days. It's a stormy spell of weather that's affecting Florida, and that could impact the Caribbean. So if we take a look at the city forecast, it looks somewhat like this. As we move through Mexico City, it continues to stay fine and dry, but Kingston, Jamaica, unsettled. Take care. Hello there. Forecast for the Middle East coming up shortly. Plenty to talk about here. Also plenty to talk about across Africa at the moment. Potential tropical cyclone development across Madagascar we're keeping an eye on. Frontal system bringing some showery rain up into the far northwest. Here we'll see it's a cooler story across the Canaries and then also into Morocco as well. By contrast, ahead of that in Algeria and Tunisia, we've got above average temperatures. So there's plenty to talk about. We've also got some sharp showers across the Ethiopian highlands as well over the next few days. Let's take a look at the city forecast in a little more detail, illustrates some of those stories. So across Cape Town, it's fine and quiet. We've got some sunshine and some warmth, temperatures into the mid-20s. Johannesburg seeing a few sharp showers and Nairobi seeing some showers as well. But Marrakesh will stay pretty unsettled over the next few days. And when those showers come, a little bit cooler as well as we go into next week. Now, some stormy weather has been continuing across Turkey over towards the Caucasus. Some pretty intense showers through parts of Iraq, Kuwait and Saudi, moving their way eastwards over to Iran. So we're going to continue to see a real unsettled spell of weather and the potential for some localised flash flooding. So you can see Baghdad stays quite showery along with Riyadh, and some of these showers in Riyadh could really be quite intense. Hello there. Let's take a look then at the weather story across South Asia. It's a relatively quiet picture at the moment, a similar one as well for much of Central Asia. Now, the satellite picture is picking up. There's very little in the way of shower cloud around, and showers should be fairly isolated. In fact, heat is building now across central and southern areas. Any showers likely to affect parts of Sri Lanka and down across the south, maybe through that Kerala coastline, and also some showers towards Bangladesh as well. A little bit of fair weather cloud across the Himalayas, a risk of some showers here too, but on the whole it's quiet, settled and sunny. Now, across Central Asia, it's not as cold as it has been. We've got a few scattered showers, probably through parts of Turkmenistan into Uzbekistan as well. And then as we push down into Pakistan and Afghanistan, a few scattered showers, but certainly better than it has been in recent weeks. A good slice of sunshine, then a few scattered showers down towards India, maybe a few showers across the Maldives as well, and some showers stretching up into Bangladesh from time to time. So on the whole, that quieter theme will continue, and the city forecasts show this. A few scattered showers continue towards Dhaka and Bangladesh as we go into next week as well, and they continue across Colombo too in Sri Lanka. But it's likely that Uzbekistan will stay largely dry and a little bit cooler, though, to the middle part of next week. Hello there. Forecast for Australia coming up shortly, and there is plenty to talk about at the moment. But first of all, let's start with the satellite picture across Asia, which is actually illustrating the point quite nicely. The showers not as widespread as they have been across Malaysia and Indonesia, and also a good deal of quiet weather, fine and settled. And in fact, temperatures were above the average for the time of year across parts of northern China. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Quiet story across Japan, the Korean Peninsula seeing some unsettled weather. So dry and sunny, 23 degrees in Beijing. The average for this time of year is around 12. A little bit of fair weather cloud down into southern China and a few scattered showers across northern Vietnam. But on the whole, the showers, as I said, not as extensive as they have been just recently. So here's the story then. Temperatures will gradually fall away across Beijing, and we'll see a few scattered showers starting to crop up across Tokyo. But across parts of northern and central areas of Australia, it's pretty stormy once again. Some heavy rain is expected and temperatures below the average for the time of year across the vast majority of Australia at the moment. Some of this heavy rain could bring some localised flash flooding. At the same time, we've got weather fronts moving through parts of New Zealand, so it's a showery story too. So the outlook pretty much says it all. It stays unsettled and a little on the cool side.